Hi, I'm Kale, and welcome to Wayward Dice. I'm going to be playing Erevan, the Drow fighter, and I'm here with a couple friends.
I'm Zach. I'll be playing Huang Sheon, a human sorcerer. He's a bit anxious, paranoid, that kind of thing.
Yeah, he's underground. I think you're more than 6 feet under.
I think he's the tallest, though. But, yeah, I think he's a bit more comfortable here underground, given his circumstances. But continue.
All right, I'm Nathan. I'm serving as the Dungeon Master. We are playing through the latest D&D adventure, which is Waterdeep Dungeon of the Mad Mage, which is set in Undermountain. It's a dungeon under the mountain, Mount Waterdeep. It's the largest metropolis / seaport in the surface world, and there's a massive multi-dozen layer dungeon. It's a mega dungeon. So we're on level 1 still. And I'm also playing a NPC named Filch. He's like a third-party member, and he is a gnome rogue. So this adventure starts at level 5. We're all level 5, and
Except for me, I'm level 6.
okay. Last time we had kind of gotten to some dead-end tunnels and walked right smack into a gelatinous cube. And I think Zach's character, Huang, was in it, and Filch's attempt to pull him out was marginally successful. Huang survived, but the cube had some critical hits against Filch, which we randomly determined that his foot got stuck in the cube and it is melted the skin off the right foot of Filch.
Entirely.
So, Filch has been lamed in the right foot by the cube. We did kill it. I think there's a puddle of ooze back in the hall. We fled to the north, and where we left off was in the long hallway, which has all these recesses in the walls for candles, which our drow fighter, I believe, went through and collected, so it's now dark. And was it like 16, 18? I can't remember.
Hang on, I marked it. Give me a second.
I could count them, but...
Well, don't worry about it. I'll tell you in a second whenever I find them. Continue.
So, Filch is kind of like leaning against the door to the closet at that intersection. It's on the western end of the corridor. We're a couple hallways away from the room that had the statue of the serpent head female. And yeah, so he's kind of like cradling his foot, and he's kind of like talking to himself, and he's kind of in shock right now since his foot has been like mostly dissolved away. Boot's gone completely. And yeah, so we'll pick up there. Erevan, Huang, what are they up to at this point?
Erevan looks at his 25 candles that he's holding in his hands. And I think he sets them down in a circle and lights all of them.
Huang is assisting Filch in any way necessary to, help him walk.
I think the wound was still kind of like oozing blood. And so you help him bandage it. He's basically got like a stumpy... You're seeing lots of like bones and tendons. It's just kind of gruesome. It smells like the gelatinous cube. It's kind of like rancid.
Amputation. I have candles burning to cauterize the wound.
I believe... Did Filch have a staff? I think... Or did I not have a staff? I do not have a staff.
Erevan has a crowbar. Could you give him a crowbar?
How tall am I?
Filch is a gnome, I believe.
3'5".
Not very.
I want to say the crowbar's 2
Yeah,
foot
the
long,
crowbar
2 foot
works.
tall,
He's got a
yeah.
crowbar crutch.
Nice.
Kale, you can have inspiration.
Thanks.
And Zach Huang is able to help him bandage up his foot, but he's in like really bad pain.
I can imagine.
I think he takes a pull from some hard apple cider, kind of like dead in his senses, and he's just kind of like babbling to himself, kind of like how I'm babbling right now. So what's the plan? To the
Aravan.
south are the dead end tunnels,
Oh,
and to the east is the way back.
By the way, Aravan didn't actually like light all the candles. That was a joke. That was flavor. It was flavor. Although, what?
I was gonna say let's go east. But
Yeah,
although, continue.
wait, didn't you say south is the way we haven't been yet?
South is the way we just came from with the dead ends.
Well, we didn't go past the gelatinous cube ever.
Well, it was in like a little recess. You can go back and check. It goes in about 10 feet or 20 feet,
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and it's a
okay.
dead end. I thought I just mentioned that. If not, there was a dead end there. There were some like undigested bits of like former adventurers and cave rats, that sort of thing.
Was there any undigested like gold, magic items? Normal things.
No, it doesn't look like it.
I pointed like some dead remains, and I nudged Filch, and I'm like, if it wasn't for us, that'd be you. And they like smirk.
He just looks like he's defeated and ready to quit.
Huang goes, yeah, that's not really the best kind of thing to do right now.
Just for memory's sake, all the way at the far end of this corridor, it went to that mirror, the large mirror that was like really large on the wall.
Yeah, the magical one.
Halfway down the corridor, there was the branch going off to the north, and if you go back that way, to the left through the double doors takes us to that room with the statue where we started. And then to the right was the dark hall that was unexplored. Also in the statue room, there was another door to the west that we never explored either. So there's kind of like two ways. If we go back towards the statue room, there is the eastern corridor that connects to this one that was dark with no candles. And then back through the statue room, there was another door going off to the west. So there's kind of like two ways.
Let's go to the statue room on the west. I think Aravan says. You're allowed to object, by the way.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good idea.
God dang it! You think everything I say is a good idea?
I think last time hadn't somebody started going down the eastern corridor? I feel like somebody already partially.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah, it splits off into two little ends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But somebody had gone. I think did Aravan go down the
Aravan
broken
went
hall
alone while
and
Zach ran into a cube.
yeah. I think Aravan would know that the hall keeps going off to the east in the dark. But you came. I think you came back when Huang found the candles. Maybe is that right?
I thought I came back whenever Huang was stuck inside of a cube.
Yeah, somewhere around.
No. Yeah, but this is a similar kind of thing. This is before the candles.
Oh, yeah, because you said statue room, and I was kind of thinking that. But then then let's go over there. Aravan doesn't know what's over there.
How about if we just kind of like you guys just explore both ways, and I'll describe what's at the end of the both directions. You can kind of like make an intelligent choice which way to go.
Sure.
We'll go that route.
Joyce, who are we?
Well, at least you'll have some information to make a decision from. So going back to the statue room, we'll say you leave Filch at the base of the statue, and who wants to go west and who wants to go east? This will just be for a short scouting trip, not any sort of like.
Oh, we don't know that. Maybe we could each just hit slides and go straight down into a pit.
Well, do you guys want? Okay, so we're in the statue room. Do you guys want to explore together to the west?
No, Aravan enjoys splitting up. He likes being independent.
I'll take west.
I'll take east. Then.
All right, let's give Huang some inspiration for the curse.
Yeah, it's only going on for
I like
a
to
day.
think that if he takes damage, then it goes away for whatever reason. But he
that-
keeps on doing it.
Zach, do you want to go ahead and explain your curse since it's been 2 or 3 weeks since that happened?
Wild magic, and for basically a whole day, he has to keep on accentuating his S's. Like this.
All right, so who goes west?
I'm going west.
All right.
I'll head east.
To the west, there is a door opening up into a 50-foot corridor, which ends in another door. So walking down to that other door and opening it, on the far side of the door opens into another corridor, which goes straight ahead into a dead end, and then also off to the right into some sort of room.
He's gonna go through the corridor to the room.
Okay, so you just want to have him peek in, or you want him to enter the room?
He's gonna peek in, but with a little less caution than necessary.
All right. Oh. You see that in the southern wall, which is on your left, because you're kind of in the southeast corner of the room, looking into the room. So on your left-hand side of that wall, on the southern wall, there's piles of bones that are kind of covered with a layer of mold. Some of them more than others. Some of the bones aren't molded yet, so you can kind of make out skulls and rib cages and that sort of thing. There's also a little alcove on the northeast corner, so you kind of have to peek around the wall to see what's back there. You don't see any sort of creatures or anything at this point, just some moldy bones on the south wall.
Oh boy!
Or you can double back.
He taps his pendant more time to cast light and regenerate it, and he takes a step in.
Okay. So you step in the room. You can tell with the extra illumination, the southwest corner has another alcove which looks like a dead end. It's empty. To the north, in the center of the room, is a corridor going off about 20 feet away, leaving the room. And there's a door on that far end. So this room seems to be enclosed, and the door on the far end is shut. On the eastern or northeastern corner of the room, where you look over the alcove, there are some rusting manacles, pinned into the wall, and hanging from them is the skeleton of a humanoid, well past its prime. You could see the bones and just bits of sinew and rotten clothes, but it's definitely a skeleton manacled to the wall. And it has the skeleton, the skull itself has horns protruding from it.
Oh, that's a little.
You can, if you want to try and identify it, you can give me a nature check. Beat a 10.
You look at bones.
Right.
Whoa. That's a little scary.
I got an 11.
Okay. You think it's probably a tiefling that got chained to the wall.
Or a demon.
Also, yeah, you notice there's bones to a tail as well. So possibly a tiefling adventurer or somebody's been chained up and left to die, and their bones are just stuck here. And you also notice that there are words written in some kind of dark ink above the skeleton.
Can I read the words?
What languages do you know? It's not in common.
Let's see. Common, Undercommon, Sylvan, and Gnomish.
No, there's not any language you know.
Wow.
Well, I can't read this sign, so it's not going to stop me.
You know more languages than me.
I know many more things than you.
Is Erevan been
we're not
tailing him the
together.
whole time?
Nah, probably not.
I'm thinking.
Let's not-
Nah.
we can leave him here and we can cut to Aravan.
Nah, he's not. He's not tailing.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's cut back to Aravan though.
Okay, Aravan went east. Is that right?
Yes, the draw went east.
Okay, so in the main chamber with the statue, the Cobra statue, I guess, the Cobra woman. Filch is at the base of the statue. There were double doors going off to the east, and that corridor split south, which goes to the room or the candle corridor, and also the gelatinous cube, the dead end tunnels. But the other branch, the left, that goes kind of like east and north, that was the one you kind of had just briefly checked out before, so now you're going to check it out in full. So it goes east about 50 feet, turns to the north or the left, goes another 30 feet, and then cuts back to the right. What's your plan for kind of exploring? You just want to just follow the tunnel, or what are you thinking?
I'm gonna stick along the edge, but yes, probably just follow the tunnel.
Okay. What's your passive perception?
15.
Okay. So once it branches back to the east again, it goes on for quite a ways, about 70 more feet. And about 2/3 down the tunnel, or 50 feet down the tunnel, there's a little alcove off. It cut into the corridor going off to the north. And if you progress down the tunnel, you'll be able to look into it. But from this distance, you can only see that there's like a cutout to the left or the north.
I'm gonna
At the tunnel end, the tunnel veers off to the right, to the south.
I'm gonna continue, but I'm gonna cautiously check for traps.
All right. So with your passive perception, you don't see any sort of traps. You reach the alcove, and there is a sculpture carved in a relief into the wall. A sculpture of a nude, heavy-set man playing a harp.
I walk up and chop off his
Woohoo!
Yes, I chop off his woohoo. And I put it in my bag.
It appears to be covered by the harp, but a chunk of granite falls on the ground.
Is the harp still intact?
Yeah, generally speaking.
Oh, so I didn't hit the harp, so I actually did hit something then.
Yeah, maybe it was a piece of something that was already under there. It's hard to tell. So while you're examining his nether region, you see an inscription on the harp itself, and this one's in common. It says,
I read it out loud.
"Gaze upon me with bronzed visage, and secrets shall I reveal." Also, at the foot of the statue or whatever the carving is a pole that's been snapped on one end, and its total length is about 5 feet now.
Is that what I cut off?
A 5-foot dongle or whatever.
I know. Let me think here. If I do have anything bronze,
And visage is like a face, like a mask or appearance, something like that is your visage.
I look very upset. I look at the statue very angrily. My bronze visage really shines through. Does anything happen?
You concentrate for a few moments, maybe a full minute, and he's still naked, holding a harp with no change.
Yeah, Aravan's a little dark for a bronze visage.
God, okay. Way to discriminate against the dark elves, okay?
That's what they're here for. Yeah, that's what they're here for.
Let me think here. Ooh. Oh yeah, never mind. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to look for the end of the pole.
It looks like it's just been sheared off, almost like a chop, like a guillotine. Actually, it's not splintered necessarily.
Yeah.
Like it's been broken over a leg. And then you recognize that it looks like one of those commonly mass market produced 10-foot poles universally used by adventuring parties everywhere in their exploration of dungeons. So it's like half of a 10-foot pole. And something has sheared off the end. Like a giant pair of scissors.
I look around the room for an extremely large-sized pair of scissors.
No, everything seems to be crafted from stone or carved into stone.
Okay. Is this naked man wearing a mask?
No. He's not wearing anything.
He's naked. It's kind of in the name.
I pull out Glib's amulet and I hold it up to him and I say, "Show thyself."
Is this the amulet of the snails?
Yep, Lord of Snails amulet.
While you're holding it, you kind of have like a faint, almost like a glowing sensation off in your peripheral vision off to the east.
I immediately look there.
Okay. On the ground, you see a couple of snails kind of like crawling along the wall. And they have like a mystical glow around them. You're like, oh, if I hold this thing, I can identify... Oh, and look, up on the other wall, there's a small thread.
I can tell if there are snails around.
You have the power of identify snail kind.
Well, if you mix that with your...
I walk over to them and I try to talk to them. I say, "Hello, snails.
I am the Lord of Snails.
I am your lord."
I think you can actually read their minds.
What do they say?
It sounds like this.
They're snails.
There's no thoughts.
I pick one up off the wall and then I sit here and try to listen to the thoughts again.
The closer it gets to the amulet, the brighter the amulet begins to glow, and you realize, oh, this amulet glows.
What's funny though is I have a question. Do I know that they're reading their minds? Like, is it just like loud static as soon as I like?
You feel like you feel exactly like a snail right now.
You know, I've been wearing the amulet like this entire time, right? I've had Glib's amulet on.
But it's been like tucked in, and you've never really looked at it while you were in close proximity to snailkind. But you are the Lord God of Snails while wearing the amulet, so...
I think I'm gonna, like... is it safe to say that I have a jar since I have rations?
Possibly. What are you doing with the snail at the moment?
Oh, I'm wanting to put the snails inside of a jar.
You realize that the snail is, like, almost like offering itself to you as its lord.
Oh, I eat the snail. No, I kid. I'm not being serious.
Okay, but you see, like, the amulet's glowing almost like it's reaching out for life force.
I put it on top of the amulet.
The amulet absorbs the snail, and you gain 1 hit point.
I gather all the snails in the room and do the same thing.
Well, I think there was one more snail and a slug.
Okay.
So that'd be 3 total hit points.
This is the best item I've ever found. I think I'm gonna hold the amulet. I'm like, wow, Glip had such power. And I go and tuck it away again. And now I go back to the actual.
When you pull your hand off the amulet, you've got like a trail of like slug slime that's like connecting your skin. You're like, you are the snail.
Can I climb a wall with this? Like, what's the practical use?
It's like you like slime the wall. It's like.
Oh, that'd be like the worst superpower. Like, imagine like, you know, like getting, you know, like the nuclear nuclear transformation, and you get the worst power ever. It's just the power to detect snail.
You realize that some of your rations are like salt beef, and you're just like,
you've put them away in salt.
Nathan.
Yes, Snail Lord.
I do my best to not touch the salt, and I set it on the ground in front of the man.
You say you threw it on the ground?
No, I set it on the ground in front of the man.
Oh, you set it on the ground.
Without.
I just had a picture of like Airvan with like the salt beef, like
Well, no. I set it on the ground, but I don't touch it. Like I keep it inside of the bags that I have. Inside the Ziploc bags that I have with a little zip tie thing, like this thing, I close it and I set it down.
A little bit of the salt powder gets on your
God,
mucus, and it's like bubbling and fizzing.
Ow!
And,
oh my gosh.
The amulet's like vibrating, like it's not painful or anything.
I hide the amulet.
Yeah, it's hidden, but you can kind of feel it like thrumming against your chest while the salt is in contact with your bare skin.
I think I take off the amulet and put it inside my bag.
Okay.
What is it like? Once you pull it out, then you're the Lord of Snails until. Okay, it doesn't matter.
It seems the power only works while you're wearing it. But
cool. Do I still have slime hands?
No, it doesn't appear that way. It looks like the salt took care of that.
I go and pick up my beef and I put it back inside my bag.
Okay. All right.
I check behind the statue and look at the harp, and then
the statue's kind of carved in the wall. It's not like a proper standalone statue like the Cobra Woman was. This one's kind of carved into the back of the wall. It's like a wall carving. I'm not sure if I described it very well.
Wait. I guess copper isn't bronze. Never mind.
Yeah, those are two very different materials.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I pull out some copper pieces. Can I pull out some gold?
Isn't there some copper in bronze? It's like an alloy or something. I don't know. Anyways.
Cool. Look at that.
I'm not a metallurgist, so
no cheats today.
Zach, did you have something you were gonna say?
Yeah, sorry.
No, not really.
Okay. And then a reminder, Kale, that the corridor keeps going off to the east about 20 more feet and then cuts south to the right.
What does the thing say? What does the statue say?
The carving or inscription on the harp?
Yeah.
It says, "Gaze upon me with bronzed visage, and secrets shall I reveal."
I'm honestly tempted.
What's your intelligence here?
10.
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll. Let's just see if you have any sort of like insight to what it says.
17.
All right. So you think there might be some sort of key or something, like some sort of item that you might need to like in like dungeons. This is kind of like a puzzle maybe, or there might be some sort of like maybe the bronze visage is another person that you need to bring here, or
that could be it. Fair enough. I continue going east.
All right. So the corridor jogs south and then east again, so it's got a little zigzag, and it ends at a door. This door is a little bit different from some of the other ones. The carvings are ones you haven't seen before. It still looks dwarvish, but the carvings are like a different kind of... they're like angular.
I try to like open the door.
Okay. It pushes open into a long corridor, and you realize that this corridor is like the carving, like the dwarven carving is like a higher quality, and so it's like a different area of the dungeon apparently.
Oh, nice.
Like it's a different like locale. It's like a connecting door. I don't know if you want to go back and get the others. Because I think Zach also had another door that he hasn't peered through yet.
I think I'll just stay inside the room with the statue, or I'll stay inside that corridor and just sit down and wait for them.
You just want to wait here?
Yeah, I'm just going to wait for them to show up.
Let's cut back to Filch. Filch is kind of like moaning and like thinking about his life choices. Alright, so that takes us to Zach. Huang was staring at the manacled remains of a skeletal tiefling maybe?
Yeah.
With some weird writing in some language he can't recognize, and some sort of dark ink that might be dried blood. It's really hard to tell.
I'm gonna definitely gonna like feel the writing to see like if there's any sort of...
Some of it flakes off, so it's whatever it was isn't like embedded in the stone. It was like painted on here, so it's some sort of paint, or it's not tar. Actually, your inclination is this might be blood. Would you have seen like dried blood stains before?
A few times.
Yeah, it seems most similar to that. If it's not dried blood, it's something very similar.
Yep. Do I have a spell that I can just burn that away real quick? He's not really comfortable.
The ink?
No, just from his hand. Yeah, he's just like gonna firebolt the floor so the fire like on his hand while he's casting it cleans it off. Anyway,
You could pour some hard cider on it.
nah, this is the fun sorcerer way.
You
So
burn your finger?
No, he's just like casting firebolt so that the fire when he's casting it is on his hand and cleaning it. It's a better image in my head, but
Okay, so the hand that's sullied is casting the flame itself.
yes. So he's doing that, and after that he's gonna go inspect the nearby door.
Okay, so he casts his flame. I think he seems satisfied with his hands being cleaned off. I don't know if you're ready for surgery, but you feel better. Going north down the short hallway, there's a door going off to the west, and it's closed, like I mentioned.
All right. Well, can I open it?
Yeah, it actually pulls in towards you. So you open it in towards you, and there is a 20 by 30 foot room in front of you. You're kind of like the door you open is right in the middle of the eastern wall. Across from you is some sort of like barred passage going off to the west. To the right of you in the north wall is another door. And directly in the middle of the room, kind of like set at like a diagonal, about 20 feet apart, are two pillars standing upright. And they kind of like arch and are like supporting the ceiling at the top of the arch.
Okay.
Also,
Oh.
now that you're like, once you're like noticing like they're supporting the arch, you look back down and you recognize that there's some sort of like creatures or forms of creatures or something at the base. At the base of the two pillars, they're not moving, but you'd have to probably enter the room to get a better look at them.
Okay, so he's gonna enter the room and try and see what those things are.
Oh boy. You better not get killed, Zach.
They're orcs. Looks like there's two orcs leaned against the base of each of the two pillars.
Living or
How do you want to make that determination? Or like, you mean like sleeping or dead?
no, I mean like living, or are they like
They're
carvings?
not,
They're not conscious.
well, okay, never mind. It says skeletal remains. They're dead. So you can see, they're not as far gone as the chained up tiefling creature, but they were armored well enough with like cloaks and shields and things and helms that
So
you
you
have to
took
be
like
pretty
a
close.
good
And
like
it looks
double
like they've been
take.
killed quite a while ago. A couple of them have arrows sticking out of them, but most of their flesh is gone.
So there's been some somewhat recent activity. This isn't the best position. He's going to start backtracking back to, I would assume they're like sort of central position.
To where?
Where
The-
Filch
the
is
doorway?
by staying. Yeah.
Oh, you mean back? He's gonna go fall back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait for some cover, I suppose.
How long has Eravan been out there waiting for them?
Well, this is all happening simultaneously, so we'll say about the time that Huang gets back to Filch is when Eravan sits down to wait.
Okay, cool.
So, Huang, what do you want to do with the room with Filch?
He's going to inform Filch on everything he found
Okay.
and say that I didn't get to go far enough because I found some dead orc things. I just wanted to make sure I didn't get killed by going in there alone.
Hey, look, I found some dead bodies. Better run away.
Look, you never know.
This is how one survives a mega dungeon.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm not sure what a solo adventure. I don't know if they'd make it out of the first level.
I just love that you're like, oh, dead bodies. They can't hurt me, but oh no, scary. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
you
in
never-
real life, it's kind of scary, but
Well, no, it's more in the case of like there might have been somebody there who, killed the bodies.
And Filch says, should we go in there? Let me go with you, or should we go after Airvan? No word from him yet.
Let's wait here just a little bit and see if he comes back.
you guys
All right, so everybody needs to make a willpower save.
Willpower.
Willpower.
Sit down and wait on
Wisdom
me.
saving throw?
Well, let's just do a wisdom roll, and then add your wisdom modifier. Filch has a 6.
19.
Cool, I got a 17.
All right, so Filch is kind of like complaining, like, we have got to go check on him. This waiting is like driving me nuts. And finally, I think Huang gives in before Aravan. So after
Yeah, it's a
71 minutes.
yeah. He starts complaining. It's like, okay, fine.
I think we just did a. Let me check for random encounters. Nope. All right.
Hold on. Does it count as a short rest?
Short rest. Yeah. After a short rest all around. There's a no
Restore our
encounter.
health because we're just sitting here so long. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm gonna start restoring health.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm back to full.
Yeah, I'm gonna. All right. The unintentional rest.
Aravan sits down and waits. Phyllis and Huang sit down and wait on Aravan. Oh man, that's great. So you guys eventually get up and head where I am then, is what happened?
Yeah, Filch is actually feeling better about life, even. He's like, well, a beach will cover this up.
Yeah, right. Oh, also, hey guys that are in here, if you guys want to, you can like sound off in the comment or in the comment section. No, sorry, the chat, and give like recommendations of things you might want to happen. And if they're
Don't give them
reasonable,
ideas.
then if they're reasonable, then we can definitely probably accommodate something like that. Because
We'll die.
that's a chance if you're, we can't fight
And
like 5 dragons.
The plot twist cards are out, so.
Oh, sweet. Or yeah, you guys can ask for plot twists. Just at us.
Do you want me to hop into the Twitch chat, or I'll just
Nah, I've
keep
got
you
an
in
eye on
before
it. I
you
can
guys
see it right
come
here
up?
on the right.
All right, so we finished our long rest. Did you guys spend any hit dice? Filch spent 3. He's got 2 left
I
as far
spent
as
1.
daily recharge goes.
Unintentional short rest. Actually, Nathan, didn't we change our rules to where like 1 hour is a long rest? If you guys don't like it, then I'm cool.
I think to do like a long rest, we probably should all be together, like hunkered down. I think since this was unintentional, as a short rest.
That's fair. Like a long rest, you have to like maybe not go unconscious, but you have to like actually like settle down and not just crouch for 71 minutes. Oh, I love that.
Okay, so a few minutes later, actually about a minute later, walking east, following the corridor, Filch and Huang stumble upon Aravan, kind of like sitting crouched in the darkness, facing a dwarven door.
I want to say he was just like sitting right next to the statue, just like just waiting. I want to say about halfway through, he thought they probably died, so he was getting ready to like meditate, but never really got around to it. That's pretty.
What
fitting.
took you so long?
What took you so long? You're the ones that showed up over here.
Well, I found. Just realized I haven't been doing the S's. Well, I found.
Oh, maybe
some
your
dead-
curse is lifted.
Sure, it's been a day. Well, I found some dead orcs that way, west.
Okay. I found this door. So
That one was intentional.
let's go through the door. There's some nice things over here.
Right, I think since Filch is kind of like half lame with his foot, he's going to be bringing up the rear for now. So I'm assuming Aravan will take point unless I hear otherwise. He'll be Aravan, Huang, and then Filch.
Sounds fit.
All right, so Aravan, you push the door open. To the left, the corridor stretches off about 80, 90 feet to the edge of your vision, and then seems to turn right into a large hallway. To the south, it goes 10, 20 feet, and then cuts off to the east real fast. So it kind of looks like it's got another like jog right off to your right hand side.
I think I'm going to go straight to my left and just go straight and go forward from there.
Okay. What about Huang?
He's just gonna follow, make sure he's not gonna get murdered.
All right. So to the west, it opens up into, at the end of the hall, it opens up into a larger 20-foot wide area. It's kind of like a rectangular sort of room. I'm not sure how to. Okay, it's kind of hard to describe. So it's like a L-shaped room. The full length of the room is about 50, about 50 feet by 20 feet, and you're on the long end of the L at the end of it, and then at the far end of the L, it cuts over. And it goes off about 20 or 30 more feet. So it's kind of like L-shaped, and you're at like the tall end of the L. There is an eastern corridor with a door at the end of it, straight ahead of you. Mm-hmm. And then off, if you peek around the L, going off to the left, it goes into like a curved, like another tunnel or hallway. But this one curves off, kind of like a circle. Mm-hmm. So it's like a rounded, and it curves off to where you can't see around the corner.
I think
in fact, it's a curve, so there's no corner. You can't see around it because it curves off out of you.
I think Irvin, while he's walking, he's going to say, this is pretty boring.
Yeah, should we tell a story? Maybe sing songs together.
We could make some noise and set up a small trap if anyone's nearby. If there's no one nearby, then we just continue on our way.
When you start talking, you realize that on the far end of the L where you couldn't see them, there was two bugbears kind of like crouched in the darkness, and they like book it through the curved tunnel and start running
away. All right. Erevan slaps Swang on the arm and says, "Tag, you're it," and then runs as fast as he can.
No, wait.
Where are you running to?
He's running toward the bugbears. He's going to chase them.
Oh, chase? All right.
And kill them.
What's your speed? Is it 30?
Oh, it's a good old 30-30. It's 3,030.
We'll say they're about 40 feet ahead of you, and they disappear from view around the corner. You probably had time to maybe like throw a dagger or something. I don't know if you have any ranged weapons at hand.
Well, he's mainly right-handed, and his right hand is incapacitated with his sword. So he's just gonna run with his glowing sword in his hand and chase them. They'll know where he is at all times, but...
Two curses running. Technically, all of our characters are cursed in their own way. Zach's character is cursed with S's. Kale's cursed with a magic longsword. And Filch is cursed with a lame foot. So.
What's great is it's a magic longsword, so it's strong, but it's like, I'm not a strength character. So it's just neutralized. It's just a longsword with no modification up or down. This is so inconvenient.
It's style points that counts.
Chasing them, this whole curved corridor keeps curving around. So I think you intuitively can kind of tell. You're a drow, so you're familiar with like underground passages.
Yeah.
You look like you've done like almost a full semicircle, and it opens up into another room, similarly shaped to the other one, but it's not an L. It's just like that bottom half of the L, and there's no branch off. And you can hear the sounds of goblins ahead of you, the bugbears' deeper voices shouting and being responded to by the higher pitched voices of other goblin kind. Probably, it sounds like there's a troop of goblins in the next room ahead. You're still in the tunnel, and you're kind of like, you can keep running or you can pause before charging in.
Okay.
You can definitely hear the sounds of voices because your ears pick it up easily.
Okay.
I'm always hearing some voices.
I do want to know that the bottom half of an L is just a hallway. You said it's not an L, it's just the bottom half of an L, which is just a straight line.
I can draw it if you want.
No, you're good. No, just the way you said it. I'm going to just I'm
It's
gonna
basically
say,
like a 20-foot by 40-foot chamber.
I'm gonna say, come out if you know what's good for you. I'm gonna like stand still with my
In
sword.
common?
Yeah, in common, because they probably don't understand Elvish or Undercommon.
Yeah, and at this point, Huang is following behind him.
Right. You can tell from the sounds of goblins that the goblins sound scared, and the bugbears are also. They're not like rallying for a fight. It sounds like they're like preparing to flee.
I'm
Like
gonna
an
say.
It
I'm
sounds
gonna
like
say,
they're like.
Oh, bad.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Come out, or I will hunt you down and kill each and every one of you.
Now hold on. And he puts his hands on his knees, catching his breath.
Come on.
They sound terrified in here.
They all flee the room out of view somewhere to the west.
Of course they
Gosh
do.
darn it,
So
Aaron.
if you want to look at me real quick, if you can see me.
Yeah.
So you started in this one like L-shaped room, and you've gone like through a curve, and there's another like room that's not an L, it's like this, and they've fled back towards. They're probably a connecting tunnel back to the
It's
original floor.
probably just a big like.
You can hear the clicking of the crowbar while Filch is trying to catch up with you guys.
Because his cane.
He's somewhere in the curved tunnel behind you.
All right. I'm gonna say, Huang, go the other way. I'll chase them down from here. We'll pinch them, and then I just take off running before.
Aaron, wait, no. He like tries to catch him by the back of his collar.
Do you?
He's trying to. Do we got to roll for that?
Give me an acrobatics save, Kale.
Rolling against what?
Hold on.
I rolled a 3, but I got a 10.
Yeah,
but I
you
got a 10.
He's got a drow cloak, so he's got his cloak in your hands.
You
But
like
what's
miss
your
my
strength?
hair, and then your
My
finger
strength,
just goes
9.
on it. My strength is 8. He's actually stronger than me.
Did you try and tug free Aravan and keep running?
Yeah, probably, but I'm weaker
Okay.
than him.
So you momentarily grab a hold of his cloak, but he like kind of jerks it free. But you can say what you have to say.
Now hold on, Aaron. We got to think about this smart. If they're scared of something, these are bugbears. They're running from something that probably isn't us. There's probably much more
they're
dangerous.
running from something that can kill them, which is me.
Okay, that too. But they started scared. They got to be running from something.
So, Kale, you look into the room where the goblins had just fled.
Mm-hmm.
They fled to the west, back towards the way where you started, like I've described.
Okay.
To the east of the room, opposite of that, there's a tunnel carved into the wall, and they have overturned a large stone table as like a barricade, and there's 2 dead goblins on the ground.
Fresh.
Yes, one of them's head has been chopped off. And it looks like they maybe had positions when you had a glimpse. It looked like they were hiding behind the table, taking shelter from something in the tunnel going off to the east. They fled to the west, and on the far side of the room going south is another tunnel.
Ervin's just gonna go and chase the goblins, I think.
All right, chasing the goblins.
Yeah,
is
I think he
Huang,
just kind of wants to find out what they're doing.
All right,
does Huang follow them, or does he double back like he was requested?
Huang sighs and follows.
Oh, you're gonna follow? You're not gonna double back?
No, he's gonna make sure that he doesn't get a murder.
You can distantly hear the sound of the metal on stone. It sounds like Filch is still moving. You hear like dang.
Ting.
Can I like look behind me and say, Filch, hold on to the crowbar, and cast catapult and send him flying towards us?
You can't catapult anything that's been carried or worn. It's also only up to 5 pounds, Zach. I mean,
yeah, that's right.
He could let go of it, then you fling it, then he can grab onto it, but that would probably like break his arm or something.
Could hear me out.
I think that's trying to like board a moving train.
Hear me out.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Could I
It's
cast
like trying
it?
to grab onto a bullet as it flies through the air, and then use it to fly forward.
All right, what's it, Zach?
Could I cast it as a 3rd level spell with 15 pounds of maximum?
So you want to catapult Filch through the air.
Zach, you realize it means he'd take 5d8s of damage with whatever he hit.
Well,
right?
whatever I hit takes 5d8 of
No,
damage.
no, Zach. If you read
But also
it
the
says the
crowbar
item
would.
thrown. Yeah, the item thrown, and then the thing hit. And if
But
Filch himself is
Filch-
the item being thrown,
Filch isn't being thrown. It's the crowbar.
So Filch sees you like kind of like pausing there, ready to cast a spell, and he's like, "No, don't do it." This is what you're thinking, but he's just like, "No, where's Aravan?
Oh, he's that way. I was
Okay,
gonna
go. I've caught up. Go. I'll follow you."
I was gonna throw you at. Okay, and he starts running. I was gonna throw you at him.
I like to think that he trips whenever he starts trying to run. Like he just like falls over and he hits something and then he gets up running.
Yeah, no, he's fine.
Okay. So Aravan, you turn down the corridor to the west, and you realize that the corridor does not connect as like a corridor into the other door. Although you do see a door on the like where you expect it to, but it actually opens into a large room. And the room is it's kind of like in a cross shape.
Mm-hmm.
So the center of the cross, well, let's see. It's about 20 feet by 70 feet. And then at the top of the cross are like little cutouts or alcoves that are much larger than ones you've seen before. So like off to your right-hand side, you see this like cross shape alcove area. And right in the center of that like cross part of the room is a gigantic obelisk, which is made out of granite. It's just a very tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a pillar because it's kind of like rounded off at the top. It's as tall as like 2, maybe 3 men, and near the top is carved an eye.
Mm-hmm.
And there's handprints all over the base of the obelisk. The alcoves that I mentioned that make up like the cross-shaped indentions are bundles of goblin like belongings and beds. It appears that they've like made camp here, and there's just like floor coverings and beds, rugs, and like that kind of thing that the goblins have been using to sleep in, spread all around the walls surrounding the obelisk off to your right. To your left is a diagonal corner, and then there's just like 3 other corridors kind of branching off, like three branching forks, I guess, off to the south.
Mm-hmm.
But the goblins and the bugbears have taken up position in this room around their belongings and behind the obelisk.
Are they holding weapons?
Yeah, they're like pulling up shields, and a couple of them are drawing bows, and they're just like quivering and shaking.
Airvan's just gonna look over and he's gonna say, "What were you fighting in there?"
It's a drow! We're doomed! No! Quit yabbering, fools!
Airvan's gonna say,
We can
"You're
take
right."
him, there's only the one.
At that moment, Huang
No!
bursts in,
Damn it! No!
panting.
Zach, I was gonna do something super, super cool. I was gonna use darkness to make it look like there were like 4 of me. I was gonna be like,
I'm here. One moment.
he's like panting, like, oh, man, that was so hot.
So just so I can imagine what's happening, can you guys describe the physical appearance of each of your characters as far as like clothing and like garb and that sort of thing?
Zach?
Yeah, Huang. He's a show, so he's got kind of flaxen skin color. He's black haired, that's cut kind of short, I guess, just really forward cut. He wears a lot of blue in general. He kind of
Is
has
it bright blue, like baby blue?
No, it's more like
Royal blue?
kind of like a dark version of sky blue. I can't really think of how else to describe it.
Royal blue is usually what we call them.
Like a indigo or midnight blue?
No, not that dark. More like
Just like a deep blue, like navy?
This color.
yeah, pretty close to that color. Just less shiny because it's clothing.
This
So he's wearing that.
color.
He's got like a white tunic under this sort of set of robes that are blue.
Okay. Airvan stands tall at 6 feet. He's got white shimmering hair. He's got a glowing golden shimmering sword, apparently. Thanks, Nathan, for the curse. And other than that, he's wearing like all black. And like think of like think of like Drizzt, you know? Drizzt. And yeah, that's kind of what he's like. He's just kind of this super cool drow guy.
The long sword is giving off a faint purple glow, I believe.
Oh, purple glow. Sorry. For whatever reason, I thought gold.
No, I think it's glowing, but I think it's purple glow.
Oh, and I forgot this other thing. He's got a scar on his eye.
Okay.
That's a childhood.
So the shoe just kind of like stumbles into the room, and there's a bunch of goblins and some bugbears off to the north end of the room.
Hey, get down from my heels, shoe. That was a racial pun.
I'm like 20 years old. I've heard that one before.
20 years old? Just 20 years old?
I don't know. He like counts on his fingers.
You're an eighth my age.
I'm 24.
Okay. You're slightly less than an eighth my age.
You're very specific.
Let's keep playing.
You're gonna die before you get to as old as I am.
All right. So I think there's just been like a moment where everyone's kind of like realizing what's happening. So let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Specific.
All right, I've rolled for the goblins and bugbears.
12.
23.
Oh, wait. No, sorry. 13.
Okay, so Huang can go first and then Aravan. The goblins haven't fired yet, mainly because you guys haven't outright attacked them. So, but there's definitely drawn bows with arrows pointed your direction. Probably 2 of the goblins have bows drawn, and the rest of the goblins have like little tiny like wicker shields and blades. And the bugbears have their typical, I think, mace or morning star.
Yeah, they're just carrying around mace, trying to pepper spray you.
So about
die, foul beast. Sorry.
That's all right. Let me think of a second. Okay. So about how close together are they all?
Oh god, you're already gonna kill him.
The nearest one's about 15 feet away from you on your immediate right-hand side, and they're all spread out over the course of about 20 feet by like 10 feet. There's 8 of them.
All right. So hypothetically, if I cast Fireball in the center of this group, it would catch all of them?
Is it a 20-foot radius?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, if you cast it into the back of the alcove, the explosion would blow them all towards you, and you're about 30 feet from the back wall, so it should hit almost all of them. It might miss one of them, but it would definitely hit the bugbears. Right. Yeah, most of the goblins. Yeah, you just shoot it into the back of the room and just blow everyone.
So before he does that, Huang looks to Aravan and says, "So there's no chance of us like talking to them, right?"
I mean, I was gonna bluff them.
Bluff how?
I want to say that I whispered bluff them, and then you just yell out, "Bluff how?" Like, totally ruining any plan. I'll be like, never mind that, just kill them.
So, I guess I'm gonna just use 5 sorcerer points to get a 3rd level spell slot, and he casts Fireball. Just points and.
All right, so I think they have to make dex saves. Is that correct?
Yes, that is a dex save, and on a successful save, they get half damage.
Actually, incorrect, Nathan. They're gonna have to make death saves.
That's not funny.
What's his spell saves DC is what I need to know.
Oh, that would be very useful information, wouldn't it? 14.
So wordy. Be like, it's like, hey, what's your AC? Man, that would be some useful information, wouldn't it be? Bet you'd like to know, DM. Take my AC's whatever I make it, okay? Okay.
Did you roll damage yet?
No, I'm getting all my dice together. And by all, I mean at least 4, so I can actually do it in a short amount of time.
I think it actually would have just been quicker to roll 4d6.
Yeah. Technically, it's 8. That's 10, 14.
I got 17 whenever I roll.
28.
All right. So even if they save,
no.
they're still going to be annihilated. So
28 plus 9.
you guys are showered with bits of flaming gore and debris as the blast like just shreds all the goblins, and they're just chunked, and the whole room is now like filled with the smells of singed hair, like their belongings. All the beds are on fire, so all their like nasty like bedclothes and like straw and filth is all burning along the perimeter of the room. And there's just like, I mean, most of the goblins are actually like blown to bits, and like just like limbs and heads just like everywhere. And the bugbears are the only 2 creatures that were still intact, and they're just burning slowly on the floor.
Wasn't there also like 1 goblin left?
And I think we need to check for a wild magic surge.
Sorry, yes. So,
oh yeah, we
19,
do.
20, 1 and 2, right?
There we go. 15, so no magic. No wild magic.
Okay. Yeah, I think I said there's 1 on the edge. So I think basically his fellows around him have like kind of like slammed him into the wall, and he's just like dazed against the wall off on your right hand side, and he's still.
Aaron's going to run up to him and tackle him with his sword like above his neck. Sorry.
Before he does that, Huang gestures to the room in general, looks to Erevan and goes, This is what you did!
To Erevan?
Yeah.
Erevan quickly like smirks and says, I feel no remorse. And then he runs over and tackles this goblin with his like
it's just kinda like slumped against the wall. I think it hit the wall face first, so instead of like leaning against the wall like this, he slumped like backwards, like backwards, like and his head just kind of like pointed towards you. He's kind of like,
So
and he just kind of his eyes are still moving, so he's conscious. And he's like tracking you. So you like run over him with your like long sword, and his eyes just kind of get bigger. And he's kind of like,
Erevan
we can turn him into another pair of legs.
He starts trying to talk to him. He starts trying to talk to him, and he's like, "What were you fighting in that building room thing?"
And it's like he's just imagining all the goblins that came before him, and the last thing they saw before they died was like the face of an angry drow fighter, and he's just kind of like in shock. I'm not sure if he actually had. Let me see if he's got his wits about him. He does not.
I'd honestly love to think that they think that I cast the spell.
No, they saw his grandeur fingers.
Okay. Never mind.
You see his eyes kind of like looking around at the floor, and there's just like goblin chunks everywhere.
Zach, I have a question. Whenever you cast the spell, did you just snap your fingers like Thanos, and then it just blew up?
It's a little bit more than half, but
I like to think that you just snapped, and then they just kind of.
Oh, it's like one of those forward snaps where he like throws his whole hand forward.
Oh yeah. Well, like.
All right. Hey, while you think of what you want to say to the goblin, we'll say it takes a minute to kind of like come to his senses.
Oh no, I wanted to say I actually talked more, and then I threw water in his face. Sorry.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, think about what you want to ask him. I'm actually gonna make another cup of coffee. If we could take like a quick break, like 3 minutes or so.
All right.
And just think about what you want to do next going forward.
Sure.
Because it's almost 11.
So Zach.
Yes.
What should we? I'll be like so long. Pretty impressive back there.
I tend to be when I, can control it. Hello.
Yes, we should. What should we ask him? Zach?
Give me a moment.
Okay. And then Gil was lonely. Lonely. That's okay. Nice. Gonna turn that on.
Sorry, I'm back.
No, you're good. You're good. Nice. I can just enable stuff.
What are you enabling?
Just like commands in chat.
Oh, I thought like like a ginger cousin to drugs or something. But okay.
No. Not gonna do that, thanks.
Darn.
Let me see here. Okay. I'd.
So what was the last thing that Erevan said to Huang?
Erevan said, so, what would you like to do? Well, how would you like to interrogate this fellow?
Well, I'd rather just, like turn him into a pair of legs for Filch. Not literally turn him into a pair of gnome legs. That would take a lot of magic and also be very morally.
And then just kind of.
Just a bit morally ambiguous.
Are you a gnome, right? No, you're a human.
Like, just gestures at his face. Does this look like a gnome face? I don't really know if I should do the S's on the C's, but like in face.
Okay. I've literally heard you not do that quite a few times since you got cursed with it, apparently.
Yeah, it's wearing off. So
evidently not. Please stop. But this is Erevan saying
sometimes I'm
it's
just
not
forgetful.
But what should we ask this goblin? What kind of question should we throw his way?
Well, I mean, he has to have been living down here for a while.
Probably.
He's gotta know like the sort of area. Ask him about it.
Likely. I think that is very correct. Hey, do you care if I go heat this up?
I don't care.
Okay, Zach, I'm gonna heat this up. I'll be right back.
Who's Zach?
Stop.
There is no Zach anymore. Only Huang Xian. Cool, that got him to leave. This is going to be some very boring downtime for all of our 2 listeners. That's counting everybody who does watch it live and everybody who's going to be watching it in YouTube in the future. So the 2 of you who have made it this far, I thank you. I'm going to be right back to leave you to this wonderful, wonderful break of silence. Should be not even 5 minutes. See, I'm going to say that, and then like 30 minutes later, I'll be back, but we'll find out.
You still there, Zach? I'm in the chat if anybody wants to ask any questions or comment. Gail, have there been any comments recently? Hey, Gail.
Hello.
I just popped onto the Twitch stream, so of course I don't see any chat history, but any questions or comments in there?
No, but it says that you're a moderator.
Because I am?
Yeah, that's what that sword is for. But here's the thing. I didn't assign you moderator.
I think Twitch just knows I'm awesome.
Well, you see.
Yeah, last week I like randomly checked my email.
I think I made you a mod. Yeah, I think I made you one a while back then.
I saw a message in my email that said that my Twitch password was changed in like Taiwan or somewhere. So I went in and recovered my account and set up two-factor. I don't know. Anyways. So I don't know if my old password was weak or compromised. I don't know really what happened, but anyways.
Zach, are you there?
His mic's muted.
Gotcha. So he's not ready then?
No. Did you want to talk about some ideas before he gets back? We could wait on the conversation with the goblin if you want to talk about what you think about the situation or tonight's game or whatever.
The monster thing behind that door I'm pretty excited to go to. I was actually really tempted to not go after the goblins. But
oh, like what they were afraid of?
Yeah. I'm very tempted to find out what that is. But who knows?
It's the dragon with all the gold from the last adventure that you
filmed.
Yay!
Yeah, I chopped at it and nothing happened. What, had a 24 armor class, I think.
What do you think of level 1 of Undermountain so far?
It's been very fun. I just kind of wish it was I wish that it almost felt higher stakes, you know?
Yeah, we almost had a party wipe last session.
Yeah, but a cube's not a party wipe, Nathan.
Well, technically, I misrolled the gelatinous cube's attack, or both Filch and Huang would be dead. After the battle ended, I read the... So when Zach got sucked into the gelatinous cube, I was supposed to double the damage by the cube, which I didn't realize. I've never actually had somebody fail and like actually enter the cube before in 5th edition, and so I misrolled his damage. Otherwise, Huang would have got unconscious.
Which would have been really bad.
And Filch also would not have then been rescued by Huang. And so we would have both died.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I think you were down to like 10 hit points or something, weren't you?
No, I was never that low. I've only expended 1 hit dice, or 2 hit dice, and I have full health. I think I took 11 damage, is what I took.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
All right. Yeah, we were just discussing like last session and a couple other random things. So yeah. All right.
So is the decision as far as Goblin? You hear the Goblin suddenly kind of go like, oh, ah, ah.
Oh, he's awake.
Thanks for telling me that. I didn't know.
He's like, what?
Oh, yeah, you're now our hostage. What were you fighting in that other room?
What?
Hold on.
Okay,
hold
bud.
on.
But
His eyes are now like fixated on the glowing purple sword.
Hey. You fell asleep, and all of your friends left you. They said that we could have you since you're so worthless. Now, we will let you free and let you go see all of your friends if you tell us what you guys were fighting earlier.
His eyes like dart down to like all of his like dismembered, blown apart.
No. As soon as he looks away, I slap him in the face and I say, "Look at me."
All right, give me a deception check. And Zach, what's Huang doing?
Huang's gonna play good cop, bad cop, and watch.
Okay, 18. I have a +5 to deception. +5 to intimidation, so either or.
Yeah, he's pretty much just like you've like kind of like made him look at you. And he's like, "What?"
All of your friends have left you. I'm telling you, you need to listen to me. Tell us what you're fighting.
And me!
Irvan literally like takes a big breath and sighs, and he says, "Do not listen to that dweeb. He's also my prisoner." Now.
I could kill you with one flick of my finger.
I've never heard you say dweeb before.
Then do it. Now, what's your name? Little goblin.
Huang. Oh.
Yeah, I'm Huang.
I love that. I look at the goblin and now what's your name? And Huang answers, Huang.
We've been friends for 3 years.
He says, "Snarled."
Damn it, Huang. What? Snarl? Snarl?
Snarled.
Okay, Snarled. I need you to close your eyes.
He's
No, I
like,
won't kill you.
Both eyes.
I give him some more alcohol.
I think all you have on you is cider.
Okay, I give him some cider.
Right. He's just kind of like, his mouth is already like slack jawed, so you kind of like just pour some in there and it's like,
God.
You make him drink the tea. All right.
This is brutal. Well, basically, I just want him to be so drunk that he actually won't know what's going on while we take him out of the room. You know what?
I
Never
could
mind.
just cast friends on him.
Never mind.
I have like 7 cantrips. 5. Same thing.
Shut up, Huang.
You don't have to have his permission. You can just cast it.
Huang. Shh.
Could I cast friends on you? So then you stop being so mean. And then I cast friends on him. I'm thinking out loud.
I'm pretty sure you're partied with a drow.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, friends automatically fails on me since I'm a drow. Erevan blindfolds this goblin and takes him out into the hallway where he won't look around and see the remains of his entire family. It's so brutal. And I'm gonna bring him over to that room with the door, and then I'm gonna like take off the blindfold.
He's going to drag him in there and show him. All right. He kind of like gives like a squeal, like, "Ah, no, take me back! Don't get us."
I try to pick him up by his throat with one hand, but I'm too weak, so I don't. Like, I kind of just, like, lightly grab him by the neck and, like move his head up to look at me. And once I realize I can't pick him up, then I'm just going to make it look like I'm trying to make him look at me. And I'm going to say, what is behind that door?
No, it's not a door. Remember, it was like a tunnel.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Into the wall.
What is behind that table?
Tunnel.
No, Nathan. You said there's like they had a table slammed up against it.
Well, they have it like turned over facing it. You can kind of like walk around it.
Oh.
It's not like butted right up against it.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna say, what is behind that tunnel?
He's like, that's where they live.
Who live? Oh my god.
They'll eat us.
How old are you?
40.
That's really old for a goblin. I
Gross.
think.
Oh, the goblin. How old's the goblin?
Snarls, how old are you?
He's like, this many.
And how long do goblins live?
This many.
On average?
He doesn't know what average means.
You
Okay.
gotta use this many words. He holds.
I think he can only count this many, so you're getting a lot.
Well, Aravan is going to hold the goblin by the scruff of his neck, like, and push him into the tunnel and say, "Go. We'll be behind you."
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna work.
I don't think. Yeah.
He before Snarl
You know
can
what?
do anything, Huang casts friends on Snarl.
Now he's gonna like you.
Not necessarily.
Yeah. So what do you? So Kale, you're wanting him to go into the tunnel?
Yeah, Aravan is trying to think of a way to keep him where he'll listen, and I think he's thinking of like chaining his hands together and.
And
literally
Zach, what are you trying to
shackling him.
do?
I'm casting friends, which makes it
Yeah, you've cast it, so you'll have advantage on.
charisma checks.
Yeah.
Aravan is going to begin shackling Snarled to like putting him in prisoner chains, basically.
He's like, no, the worms! Worms, no! They'll bite us.
The worms, you say.
Yeah, worms.
Well, let's hope that you have some good luck. And then I tighten the rope that's around his hand.
Zach, what are you doing?
I'm gonna try and convince him that it's all fine. It's all good. Yeah, you can go in there. We'll be right behind you. And
No Grick snack. No
Snarl.
Grick snack.
Snarled.
Snarl.
Snarled.
You're not gonna be a Grick snack. We've
Hey.
got your back, friend.
Snarled.
Listen to my calming voice.
Hey, Snarled. This rope is 50 foot long. If anything goes wrong, all you have to do is tug on it twice.
He doesn't
Okay.
know what any of those words mean.
We'll be trailing behind you, no matter what happens. Now, let's go. I tie the rope around my own. No. I tie the rope around Huang's waist, and I say, "Here's a pet," and I give him the big bundle of rope. The goblin is also now has his hands tied in front of him. Just saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think he willingly walks into the tunnel.
Yeah, you're kind of a freak, Aravan.
I think he just flops over on the ground and he's just kind of like he's urinated himself and he just got his hand tied there and he just kind of like Crick snack. Ah, I'm food.
Yeah.
Aravan is honestly debating just killing him right now, letting him go, or making him go into the tunnel still.
But just standing along the side of the wall and he's just kind of like,
Filch, come here.
You know, I think we should just let him go. This is.
Huang, why do you say we should let him go? He'll literally just run away, attract more goblins, and try to get us killed later on.
You think a
There's no
goblin's
point.
gonna get more goblins in this massive underground whatever the heck?
How do goblins have babies? By meeting more goblins.
That's. Can I make an intelligence check real quick?
I'm not as smart as you, I'm pretty sure.
isn't your intelligence at least a 10?
It's an 11.
Oh, yeah, you probably understand.
Why are you stronger than me by one stat and also smarter than me by one stat?
Because you're a filthy drow. You're a male.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I know.
Bootlicker.
These things work a bit differently in your drow society, if you can call it that. But that's not how goblins work.
Okay. Either we kill him or we put him inside the tunnel and make sure he goes. Or we keep him as a prisoner for a later bait.
No kill snarled.
Okay.
Yeah, no kill Snarl, man.
Huang, I want you to think about this a smart way. Okay? We are in this tunnel to live and to find out secrets. And to find things to help us out later on. How on
Look.
earth is it going to help us just by letting him go whenever we can use him for help later on?
And I'm not sure if you remember, but back in the main like cross room with the obelisk, to the south of that chamber, there was 3 different branching tunnels to the south,
Look, okay, we'll
separate from this one.
we'll keep him, I guess. But remember, the smart way to do this was to ask those guys what they were running from in the first place.
I tried to.
No,
And then
made
you
me
blew
blow
them up. You blew them up. I didn't make you do anything.
You made me blow them up. You
Are you
didn't
two
try
married?
diplomacy. What?
I think the goblin's checking your hands to see if you're married.
Zach, are you married? I mean, Huang, are you married?
Why would I be married with a voice like this?
No, well, look at that. Now you two can be newlyweds.
All right, so
God,
the goblin is.
I wish Erevan was a warlock now. He'd be so much fun. Like, here's a cursed ring, and here's another one. You are now in love. Poof. I'm sorry.
Filch, do you have an opinion on this? Please?
He's like, what's that smell? What's burning?
Oh, do you want a new leg? We found some
Wow.
goblin legs if you want them.
That's not what I said.
He's kind of like shaking his head, like, who have I partied up with? This is going to be the end of me. It's like he's facing his own mortality.
That's fair. Well, I guess we should head back to your lair. What's your name again, Goblin?
Snarl.
Snarled.
Snarl.
Huang, even you know his name. Oh, how sweet. Snarled. Show us where you keep your weapons and your rations.
And he points back to, like, through the
Walk
door.
us there.
All right, so he, like, walks back to the obelisk room.
Oh God, he's gonna see everything.
Well, I
That's,
cast
that's where you.
friends-
That's where you captured him in the first place. He was already in there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. But I tried to keep him from looking at all of his dead friends, and now he can like see them out in the open.
But
Yeah,
he saw them before. You weren't successful in that.
Oh.
Yeah, I kind of
Well-
blew up all their stuff.
I had described how he was looking around at all the parts of his friends while you were trying to like explain how that hadn't happened.
Maybe he'd believe me.
Yeah.
Plus, I
He just
kind of
like sits on the ground and just is like rocking back and forth. His hands are still tied up.
look. We've quite literally tortured a little goblin. I'm not entirely morally okay with this anymore.
Did you have any
Can
ale?
we just- No.
Huang, I feel like you always think that I'm talking to you.
I thought we were having a conversation.
Snarled, do you have any ale?
Why would the goblin have ale?
He's like shakes his head now.
Wait, do you know anything about a bronzen visage?
He's like, Bonza, what, Sidge?
That's a big no.
So let's decide. This is kind of like just starting to drag. What do you guys want to do?
Sorry, you're right. Let's
Go.
Huang, where do you want to go?
Not down the tunnel, I guess. There's worms,
There
grapes.
are 4 tunnels.
So
Okay.
back in the room with the overturned table, there was a tunnel to the east. It looks like the passage south from that room connects to one of the branches in this room. There's also a dead-end tunnel in the middle going south, and there's a diagonal tunnel going to the southwest.
Which one is the goblin scared of?
Back in the room with the table overturned off to the east, there's a tunnel going further east.
The east way, that's right. Okay. Let's not go there. I think it's just the smart idea. Araban?
Sure.
I did-
Goblin. Also, I want to push over the obelisk before we leave.
It might be too heavy. Let me Give me a strength check.
Okay. Airvan's frustrated. Alright. I got a 2-1.
So when you touch it, the obelisk channels like a telepathic message that only you hear. Says, I cast my eye into the future and see in yours a perilous descent. South of here, beyond a secret passage, waits the two-headed king. Look to his left. There you will see the path you are destined to take.
Look to the left of the two-headed kings, that is south.
Take notes!
No, Zach. I have paper out, thank you. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, why are you talking to me? I was just coughing, man.
At the shoulder of the two-headed king.
What's taking so long, Airvan?
You can tell the Airvan's got a hand on the obelisk and he's kind of like not moving. Or pushing it over.
I'm gonna say in my head, can you repeat that?
Nothing repeats.
Yeah, don't worry.
Juan,
no, I actually do have it.
Juan casts message to Airvan and says, "But now hurry up."
Come over here.
What?
Come over here.
Okay.
Touch this, and I grab onto his hand and push it to the obelisk.
He touches the obelisk.
It feels like cold stone to the touch.
Huang just kind of like shrugs and says, "So, is it some sort of weird ritual?"
Airvan lets go of his hand and says, "You're still it. You're still it." And then he walks off. No. It's more of like, "You're still it." Like almost like a frustrated. Whatever.
What's it?
It's a taunting remark.
Okay. If you say so.
Come on, Snarled. Do you by chance have an amulet that makes you not die, since you didn't die to the explosion?
No, he just didn't die because he wasn't close enough.
I'm making a reference, Zach.
Yeah, I don't think the goblin understands you. He's just kind of like...
Do you have a bench that I can kneel on? I'm making a reference. Nathan.
Yeah, I already killed that one. Let's keep going.
Oh. Okay. Sure.
So, from this room, there's a door going west. There's the tunnel, or the hallway going east back into the room with the overturned table. To the due south is a dead-end tunnel that goes about 20 feet and stops. To the southeast is a tunnel that loops back to the room with this stone table. And then there's another longer tunnel going off to the southwest.
Okay.
I say, let's go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, southwest.
Okay. Snarl.
Yeah, I was going to say Snarl seems like okay with going southwest and not to the east.
I was going to say, Snarl, where should we go?
I just said southwest.
Yeah, and so if you indicate that tunnel, then Snarl's like, okay. And he kind of like is ready to like go that way.
Just in case, also, whenever we're leaving, I do grab a sword and shield for Snarl, but I don't give it to him, like, I don't want him to know, but I go ahead and grab stuff.
Like a goblin, like, shield and
sword. And, like, armor. Basically, and, like, put it in my
bag. He's already got his clothes on.
Well, okay. Then
he's like,
I grab both those, and I put them inside my bag For, whenever I feel like if I ever do trust him, then I'll give it to him. Just to
You
get
know,
it.
with your one hand.
Yep. I Actually, you know what? I actually grab the shield and I slide it on my arm. And I take the short sword and I hold it in that same hand. I'm real good.
Right.
That seems...
So now you've lost the use of both arms. Got it.
Indeed. You know what, Nathan? Nathan. Plus 4 AC. I'll carry around 2 shields.
So more worthless than your typical drow fighter, even. All right, so you go southwest. Do you want to follow after? It looks like Snarlt is actually like starting to walk down the tunnel without you.
I mean, he still has a rope tied to him.
Yeah.
Which
is
I'm
kind
just
of like
gonna follow him. No, sorry. I'm gonna follow Zach's character.
So is Huang following Snart, and Erevan's following Huang?
Yeah, let's go with that.
Okay. After about 80 feet, the diagonal tunnel diagonals another way. Instead of going southwest, it's going southeast now. And then it straightens out after another 60 feet or so, going due south. And then the tunnel or hallway terminates at a doorway. And Snarl is standing in front of it, waiting for you guys to catch up to him.
Hey, Snarl. Got any idea what's through here?
He's like, Snarl to not go this way before.
Darn. Well, there goes that idea.
Well, then have fun leading.
Huang goes to open the door.
Right,
God dang it.
Door opens towards you into the hallway.
He pushes it first and figures out it's a pull.
All right. There's a fairly large room inside, kind of L-shaped again. You're like in a little 20-foot square cutout off of a main chamber that's about 30 by 50. On the far side of the chamber wall, directly across from you, is a very large map carved into the wall. The map is the wall's probably almost 20 feet tall, and like I said, the dimension of the room is about 50 feet long. So there's a very large map carved into the wall. The map's probably at least 30 feet wide. As far as the carving, it almost looks like a map of a dungeon. And but then your eyes immediately are drawn to straight ahead of you in this little part of the room. There is a man with shaven bald sitting on a pallet on the floor. Looked like he'd been dozing off, and when you open the door, he's waking up and rubbing his eyes, and he's staring at you. He's looking from the goblin to the drow to the human, and you can hear the tap 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 of Filch coming up behind you.
Huang does a little half wave with his left hand.
He's a human male.
Hey, you live here?
No, I was sleeping. Who are you?
Well, I'm Huang Sheon.
I am Brother Kosif.
Hello, Brother Kosif.
Brother.
I am Erevan of On.
He kind of pushes himself up and stands up. He's actually quite tall and well muscled, and you can see that one of his eyes is clouded over and scarred, he's probably blind in one eye. He also is bearing he's in gray robes, and he's got a very prominently displayed holy symbol of two bound hands bound with red cord as a holy symbol.
Can you
You can do a religion check to identify it.
That's exactly what I was going to do. Oh, I should have proficiency, so 19.
All right, you recognize it as the holy symbol of the broken god Ilmater, and that this guy is obviously probably a servant of Ilmater.
What are the known alignments for Ilmater?
Ilmater is a good deity. The servants of Ilmater are some of the most well-regarded like clerics and priests across the realms, because they basically take care of the sick and they're like healers, and they ease the suffering of others. So they're like super popular.
My kind of man.
So, could you do us a favor?
I hardly know you.
I'm aware.
Yeah, traveler to traveler favor.
But we do have a friend here who has been severely hurt. If you hear that clacking behind us,
well, he's back there, yeah.
His foot was gnawed off by a cube.
Well, gnawed is a bit of a weird word.
I'm prepared to pay you, if you would like.
If you have sufferings, I will do what I can.
I also have suffering. No, I'm not trying to give you a fist bump.
So you like point your long sword at him?
Yeah, well, no, I don't point it at him. I don't say,
yeah,
I
got
have
it.
suffering. Just like...
Yeah, so it's off to the side.
I say,
To give some sort of some context, it's stuck on his hand. He's not threatening you.
I don't know if he has the spell for that.
Well, I hate to actually be truthful to the rules, but remove curse does not work on items.
I don't think that's true.
No. If you read it, it says remove curse will do like magical thing, but does not work on items, on magic items.
That's not true. It's always worked on items.
You will find what I mean. Let me also search it.
Well, just let's not metagame too much, because I don't believe that's how it works. No, the first sentence says, "At your touch, all curses affecting one creature or object ends."
Yeah, but read the last bit.
Yeah, it reads exactly like I thought.
If the object is a cursed magic item, its curse remains, but the spell breaks its owner's attunement to the. Oh my god. Whoops.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. It's definitely a fighter eldritch. It's an Eldritch Knight spell. I can just become an Eldritch Knight.
I don't think that's how this works.
Actually, Nathan, say that I wanted to have two archetypes in one class. Would I just have to level up that archetype from as if it was like level 3, and then level up that specific archetype?
The archetype has the same level as the class.
Yeah, but how? But I can't, since you can't really change archetypes. How would you ever change archetypes, or can you just change each time you level up if you want?
No, So when you take a class, you pick the archetype.
Yeah, but you could never learn another archetype of the same class?
No.
Darn.
That's why it's an archetype.
I know.
Yeah, it's not really.
I'm just saying, since you can multi-class,
Yeah, but you can't multi-archetype.
I feel like you should be able to do that. Have it start as you level up one level from that spot.
What are you wanting to do exactly?
Oh, I was just wondering. I don't actually want to be an Eldritch Knight. I'm saying if I did want to be an Eldritch Knight, could I do it? If I ever wanted to down the road. I'm Battle Master. Yeah.
Yeah, just take a couple levels in Wizard or something though.
I mean, yeah. But Eldritch Knight has better synergy.
It's very common for drow males to be fighter wizards.
Maybe I could just, instead of being Battle Master, just magically turn into a wizard. Well, the thing is I like
you just take a
Master
class
style.
of wizard at your next level up. Although your intelligence, I'm not sure you're smart enough to cast spells.
It's 10.
Yeah, no, you're not.
I mean, I have innate class spells, but that's just me being awesome.
What's your charisma?
14.
Yeah, he could be a sorcerer.
Wait, Nathan. Could Erevan be part warlock?
That's not how warlock works.
No. Warlock is like you're chosen by a deity, or like you find a deity.
No, you're not chosen. You're never chosen, and it's never a deity.
Well, it's a
So let's just see what you can kind of find, and like if you want to get out of fighter for a bit, let's find something that you find like in the dungeon and see what happens.
Yeah, I've just never multi-classed, and I think it'd be cool to do, especially with one of my favorite characters.
Well, if something comes up or there's an opportunity to multi-class, I'll make sure to mention it. We'll discuss it.
Yeah, if we find like an old hag, you can become a warlock by making a pact.
Thanks, DM.
Speaking in terms of
I know,
how
I'm kidding.
All right, so Brother Kosif is like examining the foot. He's like removing the bandages and having a conversation with Filch, basically asking about the injury and so on. And he mentions that on the next day he could restore his maimed foot if he so desires.
I feel like he's gonna so desire. That just sounds kind of like, you know.
Felt is like, why not today? And Brother Kosif is like, oh well, it would take a miracle from the Crying God to do this work, and I will need to study and pray for this miracle on the morrow.
And what about my sword?
Like, what is wrong with your sword?
I can't let go of it.
Ah, have you been cursed?
Indeed.
Yes, he gets out a prayer book, and he's like, after a few minutes, he goes, oh, yes, I have not used this prayer before, but I do see a prayer here in my prayer book. I can try and pray that this curse would be broken.
Okay, that would be awesome.
While this is happening, Zach, your character is kind of like looking around, and you definitely notice there is the map on the wall. On the northern side of this room is another door leading out of the room. It's closed. And centrally located in the middle of the room is a very large and deep pit.
Yeah. Any idea what this goes to?
I feel like I'm playing a dungeon game.
I think that's the point. What is this? What does this go to?
Are you asking Brother Kosif, or are you just talking to yourself and gonna have a look yourself?
Brother Kosif.
Yes. Oh, yes. There's a tail around this pit.
What's the tail?
Yeah, is it like fox, or are we talking like a tiefling tail?
Oh God.
I came with a group of companions who have left us behind.
Us?
One of my companions is at the bottom of the pit.
Oh.
How long has it been down there?
I have lost count of the days.
Are they dead?
He is dead, yes.
How do you know?
Oh.
I watched them beat him to death and throw his corpse in the pit.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
Oh my God.
Can you hear him talking?
Can I hear him talking?
Puts his ear down towards the pit.
You can see a corpse lying kind of like face down at the bottom of the pit, and there's something walking around the pit at the bottom, like a.
I grab the goblin and drop him down the pit, but hold on to the rope.
No, hold on. And I try to stop him from doing that. I think it's a bit much, Airman.
I mean, okay. I think I actually say something like I pick up the goblin and I said, "Down you go," and I feel like that's where he stops me. Like I haven't actually put him over top of the pit yet.
Yeah. No, we're not just dropping snorkel here down a pit.
Okay, sorry. I misread this. I thought it was like a shadow walking around. The corpse is walking around. The pit's about 8 foot square. It's not rounded. It's like a squared off pit, and the corpse is kind of like walking around, like kind of like pacing.
Hey, hey, guy, what's your name?
He's Brother Kosif.
You dressing the corpse or the Brother Kosif?
Kosif.
Brother Kosif.
Kosif, are you aware that he's that I think your friend is reanimated?
Yeah, I'm fairly certain he's aware.
Yes, I talk to him every day. I don't know how to get him out, but I see the rope on your goblin. That's long enough to fetch him.
What does he want?
Vengeance. After he died, his thirst for revenge has kept him on this mortal plane.
Is this his lair then? Whenever he dies,
his soul has no. This is the site of his slaying.
Oh, cool. It's kind of like some sort of weird proto-lich thing.
More of like a revenant to me.
I don't know what the undead are. I'm a sorcerer.
I've seen one in before. They sent me to kill him, and I, had to kill him a couple times.
It's definitely like that, Cal.
Cool. And Huang starts to untie Snarl. Snarled. That's right.
No. What are you doing, Huang? Huang, stop. We'll send the goblin down with him.
No, but we need the rope.
And we need the goblin.
Yeah, you just hold on to the goblin.
Kale, are you eating a candy cane? Is that how you... Oh, wow. I'm not sure I've ever seen a candy cane be eaten that way.
That's how I eat them. Well, usually with the wrapper still on to not get my fingers sticky, but...
That's what I have. The wrapper's right down here.
Oh, man. Nice.
Wrapper's right down here. That's all I've got to say. Nathan, you say it's nice. You're like, oh man. Oh man. Nice.
Is there some light in this room, or
I think you have light cast on your
I do have that, but like, is there other light? Like, would I?
Yeah, I think there's a lantern burning over by Brother Yusuf's or Kosif's things.
Okay. So I'm gonna cast light on the rope and continue untying it.
Okay, it's untied. Cool. And glowing. What color did you make it glow?
Bright orange.
Alright, so there's a glowing orange rope.
Alright, what's your friend's name?
Who you asking?
Kosif, you're the only one here with a friend. What's your name? What's his name?
Oh, okay. That is Haleth.
Haleth, okay. And Huang throws the rope down the pit. Hey, Lith! See what I did there? Get on the rope!
Are you gonna try and like hold on to it?
Yeah.
Alright, so he grabs the rope and starts to like try and climb out. Give me a strength check.
Can I give you a Constitution? 9.
And is anybody else gonna help?
Hold on. I got inspiration.
I'll help him.
There we go. 15.
Okay. So with Aravan's help, the two of you hold the rope long enough for the undead corpse to crawl out, and it rises up, and you recognize that this putrid corpse at one point was an elf, or to Kale, to you, it barely looks elven, but Zach, it definitely looks like it was an elf in its former life. But Kale, it's like, other than like some slightly pointy ears, it looks human.
Maybe like a half elf to me.
Yeah.
So,
Huang,
your friend is out now. Will you help me with my sword since your friend is out? I know that he's already done some, but it hasn't came unlatched, has it?
Haleth, says, "I'm free for vengeance." And his voice sounds like really hollow.
Cool. What about his sword?
And
hang on.
The Revenant just looks at his sword.
Does the Revenant have his own sword?
That's a good question. No, it doesn't.
Okay, cool.
It doesn't have a sword.
What's the guy's name again? The one guy I can't remember.
There's
his name.
Brother
Okay.
Kosif and
Kosif,
then
yes. I say Kosif. Kosif. What we can do is, since he is undead, I don't think that this will affect him. It's a very, very powerful sword. You get this undone from me, and then your friend has a weapon.
Also, because he's undead, it kind of doesn't really matter if he has it stuck on forever. Because he's dead.
That's what I'm saying.
I thought what you were saying was that it wouldn't affect him.
Well,
I'm saying more that it just wouldn't matter. You know, because I mean, like, if I was a walking around corpse with pointy ears, I wouldn't really mind having a sword stuck to me at all times, so long as it wasn't, you know, inside of me.
do you ever stop talking?
I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Okay.
When I cast light again on my pendant.
But you make it glow brighter. I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
No, he doesn't do it as grandiosely. It's just trying to lighten the mood. Bling. Bling.
Actually, I think that's more fitting to your character, honestly.
So I mean, like, yeah, you don't really have to do anything with the sword if you can't. Just
Okay, so there is an undead monster like standing like right next to you, and at this point, Brother Kosif has kind of like stopped tending to
Filch.
and he's kind of like staring at Haleth like he's out. And Haleth looks at Brother Kosif and says, "Where are my killers? Where are those who were once among our number?"
Well, are they alive? Are you sure?
was one of them a tiefling, or a couple orcs, maybe?
I don't think so. Let me check.
Because I saw a couple like recently dead orcs.
No, they went off south, and he points at like the south wall of the room. And one of and then there's the one we lost before, but the ones that attacked you have fled, or not fled, but they've gone on deeper into the dungeon.
I have a question, Kosif. Did you ever find a statue of a two-headed king by chance?
Yes, it's on to the south.
Can you take us there?
Well, I have been staying in this room debating what to do about my former companion, but since you've let him out, he's going to wreak suffering upon them, and as he has suffered. I've tried to console him, but now he's freed, and I have not given much thought what to do next. And he walks over to the south wall and kind of like feels along it, and then he pushes, and there's like a secret door that opens up into a tunnel that goes south here. It's actually not even like a tunnel, it's more of like a smaller carved tunnel hallway. It's not like tunneled out with like a pickaxe. It's like a proper, it's kind of like a meandering hall, much smaller than ones you've been taking, like a secret tunnel.
Does it scare Filch to go in?
Filch? Filch is still like
I'm
kind of
sorry.
like sitting there.
I'm sorry, I meant Snarl. Does it scare Snarl to go into since it's
No, Snarl is like backed up against a wall, like staring at this like dead body that's like walking and talking.
It's a lot more normal than it seems, Snarl.
Like I said, I myself have only seen one of these before, and it was quite terrifying.
All right.
I used to be part of a cult, so kind of just
All right.
daily bread.
Haleth looks at you all and then at Brother Kosef and says, "Now that I have been freed from the pit, I will have my vengeance." And he like steps through like the going through like the secret tunnel.
Kosef, will you take us?
Yes. Do you want to go now, or shall we wait a day and I can
get the
address
sword
your-
off my hand, and then we will go.
All right. So essentially, he's pointed out you guys would have to take a long rest so he can study his prayers.
All right.
So this is a fairly secure room. There's the secret door on the south wall. There is a pit, but there's other doors, but it's like kind of like a self-contained room. There's also the giant map on the wall.
Oh yeah, let's look at the map.
I would assume Huang would be studying during the long rest, which I should.
Wait, do you guys want to take a long rest here?
Yeah, for that prayer study.
And are we wanting to continue after this, or do you want to call it?
What time is it?
It's 11:46.
A good time.
This is probably a good time to like wrap our session because we can do a long rest and let's not wrap up. We'll do the long rest, but we can wrap up the conversation with Brother Kosef.
Okay. Yeah.
He says Brother Kosef says that he wants to follow after. He wants to see what happens with the remainder of like his former party members.
That's pretty morbid.
So, did they attack you as well, Brother Kosef?
No.
Actually, I don't call him brother. I just call him Kosef.
He says, no, they did not attack me. But I refused to go with them, and they left me behind to my fate.
Do you know why they attacked Mr. Corpse over there?
Yes, for stealing treasure from the party.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
What all did he steal?
Treasure.
Yeah, there was a dispute about some treasure. I never saw it. He says he doesn't have it, so I don't know if he was beaten needlessly or if he deserved it.
Probably needlessly. I mean, I'm not really one to go around trusting walking corpses, but
I mean, a thief.
Well, he was a living being before they beat him to death.
I mean,
I got that. I just, I feel like this one's trustworthy.
I feel they were just in what they did.
I wouldn't listen to him.
I have a question. Have you ever heard of a magical dagger named Aja?
You won't let up about that.
I have not.
Of course I won't let up about it. It was stolen from me. I'm trying to see if it was from them.
All right. So, Zach, you said Huang was studying the map, or are all of you doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
Okay, so we can pick up the conversation with Brother Koleth later, but he's going to study and pray and sleep. There is a carved map on the wall. It's pretty obvious after a moment's observation that at the top of the map is Mount Waterdeep in the city of Waterdeep up at the top. And below that, you count eventually down to 23 levels of the Undermountain dungeon.
Oh, we're
Done from like a side view. Each of the 23 levels have its own kind of like style of carving. The third level has a carving of a flaming skull, like an icon. The 16th level down has the carving of a comet, and the 23rd bottommost level has a carving of a tower, and the tower has a rune carved above it.
Oh. We might need to go back to the surface and get like food. And
Do you have any copies of this by chance?
well, I could. I think I could.
Of the map?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a giant carving that takes up 30 feet of wall.
If you have any like paper or something, you can
You know,
carve
like
back.
a little traveler's pamphlet of it by chance.
Oh, like a map of the dungeon?
Mm-hmm.
No, nobody has one of those.
Yeah, if you had like. Actually, I got a book and some ink.
You want to sketch down some of it?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So we'll say during your downtime, go ahead. Let's see, what should we use for this? I think it's going to be based off of let's just do an intelligence check. Just do an intelligence check.
Ah, I'm a 12.
I got an 18.
I think you guys are able to copy the levels of the maps, but you aren't able to mimic the stylized carvings. Like it's just hard to translate it into ink, but you're able to kind of like show. You want to like kind of like label what some of the areas are, like what they
Yes.
appear to be stylized. Okay, so we'll say
In
you
Sylvan.
complete that, and yeah, so you're able to make like a map of like the levels and some notes of like some like the style. It's kind of like open to interpretation, and then you're also able to rest and sleep. So make sure and reset your hit points and spells and all that, and your hit dice and everything. There's no encounter during your rest. The next after the rest is over, he prays over Filch, and the power of Ilmater restores his foot. He's still missing a boot, but his foot has been like magically restored.
Okay, sweet. In my sword.
And he also kind of like covers his hands over the sword, and when he finishes praying, you're able to drop it on the ground, and it kind of like clangs like ding ding ding.
I point at it and I say, "Hey, you want a sword?"
He says,
He
No,
picks it up.
I have taken a vow of nonviolence. I only help those who are injured and suffering.
I just have a thought. He just picks it up and it's like, "Yeah, I'll set it over here." Oh my god! I walk over to the goblin and I say, "Do you want a weapon?"
No, we should give it to the corpse.
The corpse is gone. He just took off.
Like it looks back at the door that the corpse walked through. Oh yeah.
And Snartle is like, that weapon is so big, but it is glowing.
That's what she said. I'm sorry.
So he like wanders over and like he's like looking at it.
No, don't touch it. Don't touch it, Filch. Do not touch it. Gosh darn it, your name's not Filch. Words. Don't.
So Filch is like, I won't touch it. And Snarl looks over at you. He's got it in both hands. He's like, it is so big. He's like a great sword to him.
I push him down the well.
You push Snarl down the well?
No.
No.
I don't actually want to kill him, so like, you know.
Snarl has a longsword +1.
Snarl has the +1. Okay.
Okay, Kosif. I have another favor to ask of you. God dang it. You guys are making me offer up my most valuable treasures. Kosif, I have... have you ever heard of the Stone of Golor?
No.
Okay. Well...
What rock are you living under, man?
It's the stuff, okay?
Well, I guess it's actually just the mountain of Waterdeep. Pretty big mountain.
Okay.
Pretty big rock.
Okay. Thank you, Wong. Kosef, I can answer one question for you about anything that you would like to know. If you get this stinking sword off of this goblin, please.
I just released the sword.
Yes,
Why
but
would
he
you-
picked it up. Look.
I could not do it again until tomorrow, and I'm not sure that my god would want me to waste his time on a goblin.
Yeah, I think it's just better this way. Gives him something to play with.
The god is benevolent, is he not? Especially toward others. All I'm trying to say is this goblin can't have this. You know what? Fine. If something goes wrong, I'll cut off his hand. Thanks.
And Snarled kind of like looks at you, and he's like, and he like kind of like snarls at you.
I snarl back.
I snarled back.
You realize suddenly how he got his name.
He's got like a terrible like little kid growl.
Yeah, he's like, "Rah!"
I like to
isn't
think that
that
he does it
just
a
cute?
lot. He's like, "Rah! Rah!" Like,
Yeah.
thinking.
All right, so our party is Erevan the Drow, Huang Xian,
Shayon.
Xian the Sorcerer, the Wild Mage,
Yep.
Filch, who has been restored, Brother Kosef, the non-violent healer, and Snarlt.
Snorkel.
Oh, I'm glad that we managed to pick up 2 party
The
members.
Goblin. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that about wraps up the session. All right.
You also know that there's a path south towards a room with the double-headed statue, according to your voice in your head and Brother Kosef's confirmation.
That it is where it said it was. Head to south. Look at the left. Look to the left at the shoulder of the 2-headed king.
I mean, before we wrap up, do you want to just like scout ahead slightly? You can kind of like just scout
Like a
ahead.
foreshadowing on what's to come.
Yeah, the secret tunnel opens up into a large room with a statue of a 2-headed dwarf. To the left or west of the statue are stairs going down hundreds of feet deeper into the dungeon.
Oh, great. Nice. A perilous journey awaits you. Great. I believe that we can end with we begin walking down the stairs.
Well, we could check out the statue in that room.
I'm kidding. All right. Well, everyone, that about wraps it up. I'm pretty sure. Any thoughts, Nathan, Zach, before we say
a
farewell?
debrief.
Yes.
Zach, you want to go first?
I don't really got much to say. I've enjoyed the session. Good progress was made. We went through pretty quickly today.
No, we didn't. We stood in a room for like 45 minutes talking about a goblin.
Comparatively, we tried pretty quickly.
To be fair, some of our previous goblin companions have been pretty significant.
Yeah, every game I've run has involved a goblin companion.
I
And
was
I'm
gonna
happy
say-
that once it's somebody else's.
I was going to mention that I think it's awesome and funny that we never find kobolds. We never find,
Gnolls.
we never find gnolls. We never find bullywugs. We find goblins
And we make companions out
and we
of
make them our friends. Okay, we don't even make them our friends. Like Erevan, I think Erevan actually does like Snarlt, I think Snarl annoys him a lot, but Erevan actually does like him some.
Yeah, it's just a tradition of ours. We kill the entire family and enslave the survivor.
And also, he's a goblin with a greatsword.
Yep. Also, Nathan, you know that the way the thing works is he can actually go with one of the hands, right?
Yeah. But the other one's gonna be like dragging it behind him. It's like, shh.
I was honestly gonna say I think it's
Magic.
funnier if he basically like.
But to swing it, he's gonna have to use 2 hands.
Yeah, I love that.
And his strength is a -1 modifier, so it'll balance out. Basically, his vanilla roll will be his
So
attack.
it's doing exactly what I did.
Yeah.
I had my proficiency bonus, and then my -1 gets canceled by my +1.
Yeah.
But wait, hang on. That means the goblin is the only one with a magic weapon in our party.
You have a magic amulet, though.
And I have magic.
I might just end giving that away to someone.
I think that was my favorite part of this session was the
I love that. Yeah.
the snail amulet.
Actually, Filch doesn't know that I have that, and I think Eravan plans to give it to Filch eventually, but Filch will have to earn
Maybe.
it. You know, like, because it is his brother's. It is Filch's brother's amulet.
Filch isn't Glib's brother, is he?
Yeah.
I don't know if we established that as like.
I thought that he was either. I thought he was Glib's brother.
I'm fairly certain he's related because they talked about it.
I think they're both gnomes. Did we talk about him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I don't remember the connection.
Because I'm pretty sure that was brother, because people get him confused because they're twins. They don't. I can't remember if they look alike, but a lot of people called Filch Glib and call the Glib Filch.
Well, I mean, if I knew 2 gnomes named Glib and Filch, I'd get them confused all the time. I mean, they look just the same.
Every gnome looks the same. Says you. All
It's
right.
like you,
all right. We're getting
whatever you're called,
controversial.
dark elves.
It's interesting that we explored the southern half of level 1 and found the entrance to level 2 of the dungeon.
Wait, that's the
My
entrance
other
level
group-
2?
Yeah, remember I said there's a long dark stair going down deeper into
Yeah,
the
but you
dungeon?
didn't say that's what it was. I mean, I already knew what it was, but I'm sorry. Your other group?
Yeah. So anyway, so the next room when we pick up next week, we'll be able to go to level 2. We can keep exploring. I think we've hit about almost half of level 1, but the levels are so giant, I'm not sure if we'll ever actually explore like every single level fully. My other group actually went to the north and like we spent like a month exploring level 1, and the very last thing they did was find like the stairs. It was like a month later. Like
Were they level 5
it
the
was
entire
fun.
time?
It was yeah, they were level 5, yeah.
Yeah, it took us a
Did we
little
level
while.
up whenever we go downstairs? Is that how you level up? You just hit a level.
Yeah,
every time
we'll figure it out.
You just like take a step on the stairs and like,
Like,
Everybody's
I
already
feel
level
really
6.
powerful.
whoa!
I don't think Eravan's done enough to level up. He's still kind of slow.
I helped save and
yes.
decimate an entire goblin
There's
family.
like a side effect to the curse. He just doesn't level up anymore.
Eravan?
Permanently level 6.
Eravan, what happened to you? You seemed to vanish into thin air. You were replaced by Naravan. Your twin brother.
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Any other debrief
Dwayne The
thoughts
Rock
before we
Johnson.
end the stream?
Yeah, I think that's where we're pretty well at.
I think we're pretty well at as well.
Should we talk about our other idea from yesterday, or save that for the future?
We'll save that for the future.
If we ever mention it.
If it ever makes it to the final cut.
Summer is quickly
Right.
approaching, and we are discussing other game options. So
Well, I wish you all a merry little Christmas.
And to all, a happy 4th of July.
Nathan?
good night.
Thanksgiving.
And it's over.